Next Fensack, welcome back to the channel. You really enjoyed the cheap time-lapse camera gear items that you must always have in your camera bag. So now I've got the follow-up video, expensive items that you don't always, that you don't always have in your camera bag because it doesn't make sense. Some of them don't even belong in a camera bag, like this thing, which I'll explain shortly. Let's begin. The first item, one that could have fit in the previous category, but this one is so expensive. I mean, it's not that expensive. It's like 120 bucks. This is a Anker power bank. It's got 20-something thousand mAh in it, and it has USB-C PD charging, so power delivery protocol, which allows me to juice my cameras for a very, very long time while I'm out and about shooting. It's fast charging. I wish it had wireless charging on it so I could charge my phone, but I always have a set of cables with me. This will keep your time-lapse camera going for a very, very long time. This was also a suggestion by someone in the previous video, so I'm just getting that one out of the way. Up next is, we're back at the filters thing. This is a very expensive 10-stop ND filter, which is also a circular polarizer. So this one is made by Polar Pro. It's a piece of glass that rotates. It's like Sonny's for your time-lapse camera, or for your lens, I guess, or for your sensor, depending on how you look at it. But it has the added benefit that it is a polarizer as well. So as you can see on screen, polarizers can really make your skies pop, remove reflections from streets, from glass on buildings, from cars. It can really, really elevate your footage, which is why I mean, that one's pretty much always in my bag. Now, this is also a filter kit, but it's never in my bag. And actually, I've only used this a handful of times. It was gifted to me by the Polar Pro fam when I was in LA last, when I was visiting there. I got on their podcast with Dave Mays. I think it was called the Golden Hour Podcast. And they gifted me their new set. It's pretty much a matte box. It's a large filter system that you... I'll put it on screen how it all works, but it is a beautiful, lightweight, sturdy, stunning piece of kit that makes your camera gear look really, really pro. And it has, of course, the benefit that you can mount grad NDs on there. See, this one isn't even unpacked. Let's do a live unwrapping here. This is a gradual ND filter, so if you're shooting landscapes, depending on how you mount this, you will have, does that show? Yeah. You will have a gradual ND. Let's see how the... Yeah, that's cool. The brightness. Also, do you think I should just keep adding clouds to that? Because I've got more clouds. But yeah, a grad ND system that you can mount in there. I'll show it on screen. A stunning filter system, but very expensive. I think what I've got here is about $1,000 maybe, and I really don't use it enough. But when you use it, it's stunning, it's beautiful. Up next in the expensive item list, also, as I mentioned in the previous video, they're all listed down below as affiliate links to support the channel and me and my family if you buy things from those links. Up next is a smart time-lapse remote. This one isn't as smart as this one, but this one doesn't work anymore and actually never used it. This is the Timelapse Plus View, which is like a holy grail bulb ramping device. This is the Timelapse LR Timelapse Pro Timer 3, which has 2 outlets and a great new design knob and everything. You can control multiple cameras with this at the same time. I shot a 5-day-long time-lapse in a moldy basement once of a fruit bowl decomposing, all controlled by this thing, because this just works. It's a fantastic bit of kit. It's quite pricey, but it's a very niche device made for a very small niche of photographers out in the world. So, big fan of this one. Now, something... Let's go here. Oops, almost dropped that. That's not ideal. A panning device or a tilting device, depending on how you look at it. We all start our time lapses on a tripod or on a tabletop tripod, whatever, and we just shoot stuff. Next up is adding an axis of motion, which you can do with this. This is the SERP Genie Mini Mark II. There are many devices on the market like this. This was gifted to me by SERP because I've done some work with them and the company in the past, but it's a nice hockey puck style device, Bluetooth connected with your phone, USB-C chargeable, can trigger your camera as well, but I often just dial in my camera settings and then let that run. I think this shoots panoramas and all that, but yeah, it's a nice small lightweight device that you can add to your camera bag to add an extra element or an extra layer of production value, maybe let's call it that. Then, another expensive item to add to your bag when you're out and about shooting, an extra camera to shoot behind the scenes content or quick content on the road, where you don't want to go back to your computer and process, you know, everything. You just want to slam something out on Twitter now that Twitter is still around. Who knows how long that's going to be around for. This is a Insta360 One RS. The name kind of gives it away. It's a 360 camera. And then here's my new GoPro Hero 11, which I'm also making a video about. Big fan of the 11. Seriously, my favorite GoPro ever. I mean, I said that about the 10, but the 11 is fantastic. John Simo, my buddy in Canada, he's been doing really good content with 360s, using that as a behind-the-scenes camera. You know, that's the kind of video that blows up these days. It's not about the end result. It's about showing how you're capturing something and then teasing the audience with that and then showing the end result afterwards. And these 360 cameras, as John's been showing us on the internet the last few months, have been really helpful for that, because you just mount it on a little monopod and it captures everything around you while you're doing a hyperlapse and all that. So that's good. And now the mystery item from before. I actually have two of these. I've got this one, which is a Data Color Spider Pro or Spider X Pro, which is a screen calibrator or a monitor calibrator. But, as you may know, I've been working on a new chapter for the Ultimate Time-Lapse course, which is all about HDR footage or HDR video creation from raw time-lapse files. This one couldn't calibrate my HDR monitor properly, so I bought another one by Calibrite. This is a Color Checker Display Plus, and this does take HDR standards into account. I've been doing a lot of research about HDR video creation, and this thing is crucial. You can't make HDR stuff if you can't monitor HDR stuff. So, but yeah, those are the expensive items that I have. We can go further, you know, we can add like motion sliders and camera robot rails and whatever you want to add to it. But hope you enjoyed this video. Links are down below. Check out my free books, check out my paid courses, whatever you want to do. Happy holidays. May the clouds forever be in your favor. Mwah.